times. They struggled against Phase 2, who we just saw play. They struggled against Grunto, who we just saw play on Havana. And so I think if there's going to be a map that might be the one, looking at the talent on Skyfoxes too, there's some very big names. You got Boostio, you got Hoon, you got Cloneman, and Lastro, particularly, all very well known in this community. But so far this season, a little underwhelming for Skyfox. They have lost 3 games coming into this one. Atlanta Academy will be running Kodak on the Moira, which has been their go-to so far. Skyfox is already taking a ton of damage. Attitude's going to have to try to heal up before they get onto the objective. There's still a couple seconds remaining for Skyfox to try to get a good position onto Atlanta Academy, but look at Kodak's ult charge already. He's able to develop coalescence faster than even other Moiras here in the Contenders. He's 3/4 of the way there, and Atlanta Academy have already taken the point away from Skyfox.
Pound for pound, there is no other composition that has the same kind of brawling ability as GOATs, as we do have a pause, a little bit of a disconnect potentially with one of the players. Atlanta Academy has suffered those kinds of inconsistencies in the past. Hopefully we'll get reconnected soon. But I think a large part of Skyfox's growing pains this season is figuring out what kind of look they would like to represent. Buds last season blew things open with his amazing Sombra. And actually, in week 1 against Atlanta Academy, Skyfoxes wiped the floor with them with that Sombra look. But now that Sombra has become much more mainstream, Skyfox is still figuring out, not only who's going to be playing the Sombra, but if that's what they want to rest on.
Well, you've got Hoon, who's very well known for the Zarya. You got Cloneman, who's very well known for the Reinhardt. But unfortunately, both of those characters falling a little bit by the wayside. Maybe not against Atlanta. Atlanta still like to run Gator on the Reinhardt, but he has been played a little bit more boosted than we do. The Earthshatter does go through. Hawk is going to be the one that falls onto the ground. The Coalescence to keep everyone alive. EMP is going to go through as well, but there's still Coalescence going on for Atlanta Academy. Sugar Free goes down. Hawk is slept and will lose his mech, as well as Skyfoxes are going to have potential to flip this point. There are return kills now coming from Atlanta, but they've taken too much damage, and Skyfox is investing the ult because they want to take this point, but 2 stuns now coming out from Skyfoxes. Is Gator able to use that Earthshatter to delay this just a little while longer? Atlanta Academy can never be counted out, Ham.
No, indeed. Reinforces rush right back in, and all of the momentum Skyfoxes had are now going to be used to speed boost them back towards their own spawns. But even this is not going to be the respite that they want. Atlanta Academy never, ever let go. The real pit bulls of North American Contenders. Kodak has another Coalescence. Another one. What is even up with this guy? So Atlanta Academy really working on this whole death ball idea, where one moves, the other does as well. Skyfox has got to work overtime.
The sound barrier goes through. Almost missed that ledge, but all 6 members of Atlanta Academy will find those shields and get the rally as well. Kodak is going to get slept during the Coalescence, so they're going to be able to take that most important ultimate from Atlanta Academy away, and Skyfox is taking 3 picks now. Atlanta Academy will be able to make it to that magical 80% in time, which means they only need to win one more fight. Skyfox need to be perfect from here on out, which is a tall task against Atlanta Academy.
Very, very tall task. How many times can you expect even Lastro to land asleep onto as well protected a hero as Kodak's Moira? Atlanta Academy, they've been beaten back, but this is an experienced team. They're not going to be freaking out in any way. Gator has this Earthshatter at the ready. Skyfoxes don't have a ton of options. Their only real ultimate is going to be Attitude Rally and potentially Hoon's Grab.
Earthshatter goes through. Boostio's going to be the one that falls onto the ground, but somehow Boostio does survive. Attitude actually finding the first pick in this fight. Skyfox is now 2 members up. Atlanta Academy are going to have to try once more. The Earthshatter didn't do what Atlanta Academy wanted, but they're going to have a grab for the next one.
They will have that grab, and another pause coming in. Atlanta Academy biding their time, saving up their ultimates here, but Skyfoxes with a glimmer of hope, and in the very first round of control as well. A lot of times when we do see teams start to pressure Atlanta Academy, it's in the later half of the match when they get used to Atlanta Academy's rhythm and high tempo play. But Skyfoxes, and off the back of some really aggressive Brigitte play by Attitude, able to beat Atlanta Academy back. And something that I've said again, and is the case not just with Gator, but with every aggressive main tank, Bumper certainly comes to mind, is that their aggression can be used against them. When Sharik was on Montreal Rebellion, one of the praises that his coach sang of him was, while he's extremely aggressive, he also knows when to dial it back and punish the opposing Reinhardt. So if Atlanta Academy, they continue to press this same kind of pace, it's possible that Skyfoxes could turn that momentum against them. As we saw, Gator was the first one down in that fight.
Atlanta Academy and Skyfoxes are locked here on Ilio's Ruin. Skyfoxes find the advantage in this fight. They're at about 40%, I believe. Atlanta Academy only need one more fight win to lock up the round. And what Skyfoxes have already been able to do is put Atlanta Academy on the back foot. There have been times where, you talked about the aggression from Gator, where it's just not, the aggression is just not being taken advantage on, right? They let him be aggressive. Yes, the defense matrix is coming from Hawk will let him get into the back line. Yes, Kodak constantly with coalescence will always have that long distance healing for him, but at times that can get ahead of him, and you have to be able to take these opportunities. We've talked about this with Atlanta Academy before. It's not like they're perfect, right? Yeah. They have given opponents opportunities and windows to aggress upon them and to take them down. We saw Grunto Esports do it on Havana a couple weeks ago, where they almost actually took that map.
It's very close.
But the thing about Atlanta is those moments don't happen frequently. And when they do, they're very small windows of opportunity.
Exactly.
So it takes a very good team to, one, recognize that the window is there and then be able to get through it before it's shut.
Exactly. Skyfoxes right now recognize that maybe the window is shutting. Experiencing some PC issues, you may notice that his ultimate charge has been reset. Skyfox is now ready, though, still with his EMP, but Atlanta strike first.
Atlanta strike first, but the EMP is going to hack 5 members of Atlanta Academy, so they're not going to have that much follow-up damage. As who's going to get the initial pick onto Atlanta? Sugar Free does have Rally. Are you going to invest in here? Is Gator already being taken down? 2 kills now for Skyfoxes. We're going to be entering potential one-fight territory here very shortly. Hoon has an ultimate, but there's not a ton online for Skyfoxes, and looking at the other side, there's some scary ultimates coming up.
Definitely is Rally available, and Funny Astro ready with the sound barrier soon in response to Hoon's grab. Rally from Sugar Free going to escort them in here with minimal losses.
Funny Astro also very, very close to that sound barrier. There's a hack on Gator, but he's going to be good to go. He's going to go in and use that sound barrier right away. There is one on the other side as well. 2 kills now coming from Atlanta Academy. Remember, they only need to win 1 fight. It's looking like this is going to be that fight as Atlanta Academy come back against Skyfoxes here on Ruins and will take the round. Overtime does come in. Wrecking Ball is there, but I don't see a world where Atlanta Academy lose out on this. They go up 1-0 here very shortly.
Skyfoxes, they just weren't able to execute within that window. It's not over just yet. 4 members hacked up by the EMP. Clone Man, though, does go down, but it's traded back.
Oh, the focus fire here from Atlanta Academy struggling just a little while longer, along with Skyfoxes stalling out very well. But again, the result is the same. Atlanta Academy take the round 100-84 in a pretty close Ruin. Skyfoxes took the point. If they were able to take it any earlier, they might have been able to flip it right back. But this time around, Atlanta Academy push their way through, move up 1-0, and we move on to Lighthouse.
Something that Saucy did, which many GOATS teams failed to do in the past when first developing strategies against Sombra, is strike first. You saw that he never gave Boostio the opportunity to set up for that EMP. Boostio was in his backline. He was just waiting just a little bit longer for the rest of Atlanta Academy to come close to him, but Saucy drops the grab first. And something that you can always guarantee when you're coming up against a Sombra team is that if you strike early before the Sombra is expecting it, you'll guarantee yourself a 5v6. Again, for that short window of time, and Atlanta Academy are excellent at pressing that advantage.
Atlanta Academy, in my opinion, are a little bit better on this map in general as well. They do so well in tight, enclosed spaces. They want to take the fight onto the objective, and at the point you're actually seeing the move there right now. Kodak already at 30%. Looking on the other side, Boostio is matching that Moira, and that's exactly what you want to see out of your Sombra. You have to produce that EMP very, very quickly, and you have to be able to find value once you do, as Atlanta Academy now are going to be able to capture the point before Skyfox can't engage, but Attitude does find that initial pick, so it's 65, beautiful purple going on to Atlanta Academy. Somehow Hawk is still alive, and so is Gator. They have been able to move up Skyfoxes for the time being. Main tank matchup with Gator and Cloman will be a story for the rest of the series as well, as the Coalesce is enough to keep Skyfoxes off the objective for the time being.
For the time being, but Nano is now available for Lastro, as well as EMP, and Boostio shows no hesitation this time.
Only 3 members of Atlanta Academy are hacked. Hawk might be the only one that falls victim, but no, the support is there. He keeps his neck. Gator so close to that Earthshatter. He's going to pin Clone Man and take him down with him. And so it's a 5v5 here. No Ryan's on either side. I think that's going to be worse for Skyfoxes as Sugar Free able to use the rally, which is going to help defend against that Bionic Grenade, as well as Atlanta Academy maintain their presence on the objective. But man, is Skyfoxes going at them.
Yeah, Skyfoxes are not letting up at all. They know they need to take the fight to Atlanta Academy, because the more time they while away, the faster and the more damage Atlanta Academy take, and the faster Kodak gets that Coalescence. It's a constant battle to keep pace with Atlanta Academy's ultimate generation, who now does have Graviton available. Funny Astro still 20% away. Is the window going to close?
Oh, the Coalescence should keep them all pretty nice and healthy. The sound barrier now for Skyfoxes is not there in time for Lastro, so this is already a 65 for Atlanta Academy. If he goes through, cancels the charge. Gator, though, going to get helped by the sound barrier himself, but 2 kills now for Skyfoxes. This fight is not over for them. They can't come on to the objective. They have to find more picks, but Funny Astro getting a boot kill, though, is going to be an Atlanta Academy will hold on here at 90%. Atlanta Academy should have wrapped up this map, continuing their golden season. Let's see if Skyfoxes are able to keep in touch.
8 seconds left. The support line of Skyfox is getting picked off. Bowman does swap onto the Hammond, but it's not looking likely. Boostio taken down. Overtime does barely just start, but are there going to be any members of Skyfoxes? Oh, that's just painful. I am the one who poops.
I am the one who poops. Funny Astro, World Cup representative, says to the Wrecking Balls. Atlanta Academy are now 3 maps away from the golden season. If you guys are wondering what that is, that's undefeated map win-loss record. I want to reiterate again, this has not happened since Contenders has moved to a 7-week schedule. It has happened 4 other times with the 5-week schedule. Base Tryhards was one of the teams. City Drop Bears did it twice, which is crazy. And then the one winner in China are all representatives of Contenders around the world who have not lost a map in the regular season, but they had to play 2 less games than Atlanta Academy have had to do, and that just even makes what they've already accomplished, and also what Evie's accomplished in the other groups, that much more impressive.
Yeah, and even more impressive than that, Kodak, man of the moment, Coalescence for every single fight, and Skyfoxes essentially were just playing this battle where can I get ultimate faster than Kodak can get Coalescence? And unfortunately for Skyfoxes and their fans, that answer was a resounding no. Sombra, a hero that can get EMP so quickly, still struggling to keep pace with Atlanta Academy. And the crazy thing is, Atlanta oftentimes only need that single ultimate to turn the tides, whereas Skyfoxes throw EMP and then throw Grav, throw Rally, and nothing seems to phase this Atlanta squad.
It's almost like they're not on the same characters, if that makes sense, right? Why is this Reinhardt staying alive so much longer than my Reinhardt? And something that we've already seen is Gator and Cloman just attacking each other with their hammers left and right, pushing each other away, but Atlanta Academy have been able to find themselves in a better position to enable their main tank. That's actually been an issue for Skyfoxes throughout the season. They've got tons of talent and individually a ton of good players. Putting it together has been a little rough. They've honestly been playing a little lackadaisically throughout the season. But today, what I love that they did, especially on Ruins, that other teams do not do because Atlanta Academy, is they walked in here, they walked in with confidence, like they could take them down. And I think that was a big reason why Ruins was so competitive.
I took the words right out of my mouth, showing no fear at all. And despite this painful loss on Lighthouse, I hope that Skyfoxes will be able to continue that positive mentality throughout the rest of the series, because Atlanta Academy trades heavily on the fact that many teams are afraid of them and give Gator tons of space. You see a massive Reinhardt charging towards you, a lot of the times you're going to be guessing, okay, well, once he takes a little bit of damage, he'll back off, right? Anybody but Gator.
Oh, that's so silly.
Welcome to North American Contenders. I see you're new here. Atlanta Academy never give no quarter, and a lot of teams are not prepared to meet that pace. Unfortunately for Skyfoxes, their ultimate generation just could not keep pace. Their focus fire was not as good as that of Atlanta Academy, but that attitude is the one thing that has so far separated them from the rest of the teams.
Not attitude the player on
Not
Skyfox,
attitude the player,
attitude.
although him getting a ton of brig kills onto Gator, definitely helping.
Atlanta Academy are going to be rocking the same comp on defense. Kodak on the Moira is even better here, in my opinion. So we'll see if that's going to continue to ring true. Skyfox is going to be running Bustio on that Sombra. That's been one of the streakiest Sombras that we have in North American Contenders as we do get another pause. Lastro has been having some internet issues throughout the series so far. So let's see if those is also going to be that again. But that's going to give us a little bit of respite to talk a little bit more about what happened on Control, because it felt really quick, especially after Lighthouse didn't go the way that Skyfoxes really wanted it to. So we could take a little bit more out of Ruins. We talked about the attitude coming in, the player as well, right?
Yes.
Being able to go up to Atlanta and know that you can win these fights. In terms of math, there are going to be times where you are going to have a 90-something% chance of winning in a fight. Even against other teams, Atlanta has been able to overcome those odds, but Skyfoxes have been able to walk in and push through it. Other things that we saw there is we need Bustio to develop EMP quickly because you have to have that to counter the coalescence from Moira, in my opinion.
Exactly. And it just gives you a surprise tool, right? Atlanta Academy don't play very sneaky because they've never really needed to, honestly. But that's something that can just take them out of system. A little rock in their shoe that every time they engage, it's in the back of their mind. Are we about to get EMP'd? Because you are going to have to approach these fights differently if you're going to have all of your abilities taken away. Definitely worth noting that Karkar is on this Lucio part, a new part of the Skyfoxes squad, replacing Mac, and now taxiing Lastro back to the rest of the team. Potentially Lastro was considering swapping to a different flex support. He's well known as one of the top flex supports in the region, and his Zenyatta is something to be feared. And I wonder if that would actually help Skyfoxes at all in shredding some of these shields, because Ana's abilities do not bypass barriers.
The unfortunate thing for Lastro is I think he's going off against the best diva in Contenders, which is Hawk, and he's been able to eat so many ultimates, but also he's one of the few divas that we have. There's only like 3 or 4 that haven't even to consistently get self-destruct kills, and you're seeing just the aggressiveness that Atlanta Academy love to play with. They're trapping Skyfoxes in this room right now. They've already gotten the kill on Karkar, who himself trained with Fusion University and Second Wind a couple seasons ago. He's very good replacement for Mac, but still not enough for Skyfox to even make it to the objective with an ult advantage.
Yep. Skyfoxes, again, though, this is one of the weaknesses of that Sombra comp. You do need that extra bit of setup time. Bustio now scouting for the perfect EMP location. He would really, really like to catch Funny Astro.
Oh, Bustio's looking for it. This is going to be a good opportunity. He's going to go ahead and use the EMP. 4 members of Atlanta are going to be hacked. Gator is out of here. Hawk is also going to get shattered. Nice EMP shatter combo. And to be honest with you, when Grunto pushed Havana so well, what was the combo they used? The EMP shatter every single time against Atlanta. It actually forced Kodak off the Moira.
Yep.
And so this is a really good move for Skyfox, and something Atlanta might have to react to a little bit later because they do give up point A.
Skyfox is trading on the steps of previous teams. It's one of those surefire things. It doesn't matter how aggressive of a Rhine you are. It doesn't matter how good of a main tank you are. If you're EMP'd, that shield is going away. And Skyfoxes now don't have the Earth Shatter, but they do have Graviton Surge. A little while in the books, and Bustio likely going to have that EMP once again.
Graviton Surge going both ways. Kodak going to go ahead and use the Biotic Ward, trying to get even more damage into them. Sound Barrier is going to have to be used for Atlanta Academy as well. There is no EMP Shatter combo for Skyfoxes here, so Atlanta Academy will maintain on the defense, but they didn't find any kills against Skyfoxes to really get them to reset. Here is that Hawk Bomb. The Own Man Shield is there in time. With Atlanta Academy now missing all of their ultimates, and 4 members of Atlanta Academy are going to be stunned. Skyfox can walk in here if they so choose. They can't give them any respect. You gotta go for the jugular, and Bustio going to be the only one with the kill so far as Atlanta Academy are able to escape with 5 members. Hawk was 10 HP away, and now the EMP comes through. 3 members of Atlanta Academy are hacked, but were they able to stall it out much longer? Atlanta Academy still have 5 members. Coalescence is back for Kodak, Ham.
Graviton Surge here, but the Coalescence is keeping everybody alive for now. Gator in with the Shatter catches. Moon is down, and Bustio as well. Atlanta Academy right now pushing Skyfoxes back despite their best efforts. 80% for our attacking team, but Atlanta still holding strong.
You gotta go for the jugular when you have that opening. Lucio got the kill, and 3 members of Atlanta Academy were low and purpled. Hawk had about 10 HP. It was a single bar on that portrait.
The hard part for Skyfoxes, though, in following up on those kills, who is it on Atlanta Academy who's always going to be scooping in? It's Hawk, the diva. Skyfoxes are not running that hero, so they're going to be inherently much more slow and going to have a much harder time in confirming those kills. You can't send Clone Man there. You need him to hold down the fort. And as it stands, Boostio right now 35% away from that EMP. Skyfoxes searching for that shatter combo that served them so well.
It's going to be there in 20%. Skyfoxes should hold on to that shatter until that EMP comes through. Atlanta Academy has had a very hard time defending against that today and in the past, but there is going to be a bomb on the other side of that. Could be a counter to whatever Skyfoxes throw.
A bomb, not just that, and a grab as well, which is guaranteed to hit.
EMP shatter goes through. Who's going to find that initial pick? Graviton Surge going to lock Skyfoxes up, and they're going to find a return kill. The Coalescence is also there, but a nice shield bash going into Kodak is going to cancel it, so the damage has already been done, or hasn't. As Cloman going to find the Nano, he's going to try to take Kodak down, but he's too slippery. The Nano goes away. Now Clone Man is in a very precarious situation where Skyfoxes then falls. I like the idea. That's what I like, going for the jugular, but unfortunately the rest of the team could not help that time around. And look at this already. Kodak literally was just stunned out of Coalescence and has it again.
This is
That's nuts.
Skyfoxes is like the boy in the Dutch tale plugging their fingers in the dam, and as they do it, another 2 pop in. Skyfox is just running out of tools here. They don't get the same amount of value. Kodak, if he was a Zenyatta, if he was even an Ana, would be so much more vulnerable to Boostio, but as it stands, who can really try and get on top of this Moira but the Rhyme?
Kodak is going to survive the EMP, but Gator is not, but with the return kill on the other side, this is looking good for Atlanta Academy, as Skyfox is now hemorrhaging time. 2 minutes and 24 seconds for the 5 minutes they had after capturing Point A, as Atlanta Academy continue their defense here on Full Sky.
There are going to be a couple of tools in again for Skyfoxes, but it doesn't matter how many ultimates they cycle through, they never manage to find that ult economy advantage against Atlanta Academy. There is, however, again, a small window. Every grab that Atlanta Academy throw will land. That's a guarantee since Skyfoxes are not running a diva. But now, Skyfoxes have Kuhn's own grab and no support ultimates for Atlanta Academy. Funny Astro and Kodak layered those two the last time around, so the window is about to snap closed, but Skyfoxes, can they squeeze through?
Atlanta Academy is going to try to make sure that they can't slam that window shut right in their face, and an Earth Shatter from Gator could be how they do it. Kodak will have Coalescence. You can almost assume that at this point in time. Sugar Free using their rally, that's going to cause a little bit of disarray for Skyfox, but a nice pick onto Kodak. It's a huge deal, but a nice self-destruct now from Hawk brings it right back. Kodak dying is a key, potentially breaking Atlanta Academy's back, but it's not going to work out this time around, as when one member falls for Atlanta Academy, another will take up the weight.
Exactly. Skyfoxes have been investing so much in Nano and Clone Man, and Clone Man is a great main tank. Lastro develops Nano so quickly as well, but it seems that you need more than a single man to fight Atlanta Academy. You need an army. Weaponizing a single member of Skyfoxes has not been enough so far. It has to be an all-out attack. 6 against 1. Kill that Lucio, kill that Moira. Otherwise, Atlanta Academy, they're not going to change anything.
This is all going to rely on the EMP shatter combo from Skyfox's. Boostio was stunned though. He's already low. Is he going to even be able to EMP? He's actually going to take Hawk to the 67. No, he dies before the EMP goes off. Last, we're going to be able to get that Nano. Salsa using the Graviton Surge is going to waste a lot of the time on that Nano. Cloman going to get charged in by Gator, and he's going to fall. Nice Biotic Grenade going on to Atlanta Academy, but the rally is going to be enough to counter that, as Kodak is left. And so that means he's not going to have Coalescence for at least another 2 seconds. Atlanta Academy now also have that sound barrier, and 12 seconds remaining against Skyfox, who only have EMP. Boostio dying with EMP could mean that they lose out this point.
Saucy on the high ground. He's been living here the entire time. Boostio EMPs. Now it's up to the rest of his team. Sound Barrier afterwards going to save large parts of Atlanta Academy.
Earthshatter around the shield actually takes Lucio down, who had the most telegraphed EMP of all time a little earlier. It's not going to have that self-destruct. It's going to destroy Clone Man, Shield, and Saucy will take advantage as well. The Graviton Surge now from Skyfoxes making things a little bit more interesting, but this is looking like all ATL right now as they're going to push Skyfoxes back at 80.2%. Atlanta Academy now. Good chance to also take Assault. You mentioned in the pregame that this was the map that you thought that they could potentially lose. Why was that? What are you seeing from Atlanta that didn't happen here because of that hold?
I thought that it was likely that Skyfoxes would be able to take Assault because the snowball mechanic. I think in any team that we've seen in this group so far would struggle against Atlanta Academy in the long game. And that's just one of the benefits that you have when you run GOATs as well as Atlanta Academy does. You have so much sustain, especially since they prefer Kodak on the Moira, that if you're going to win against Atlanta Academy, it has to be very quick, open and shut case. Skyfoxes got 80% in their first push. It was afterwards that they struggled to find that same success because then Atlanta Academy were prepared. And GOATs v GOATs, I don't think that there's a single team that could take Atlanta Academy.
I agree. Atlanta Academy have fallen victim to Pharahs in the past as well. And the Pharah has been a good way to take Kodak and Funny Astro out of the game. But we saw Funny Astro earlier on Ruins with a really great clip with that sound barrier. His movement is so pretty on this character. You know, we could talk about movement with like Ursi and Lucy, and all of them can wall ride, but not with the type of moxie that Funny Astro is able to make his way around the map with.
That fluidity, it's like air ballet. Skyfoxes, though, do have options here. Something that I noticed with Atlanta Academy is Saucy is always on the high ground. Not only is it great positioning to shell in damage, but it keeps you safe from the EMP. Skyfoxes have to take special attention to go and capture that Zarya, and that's just something that they weren't doing time and time again. Same hiding spot for each of those fights. They know where he is. They're just going to let him live for now. Lucio in the back line. No surprises here, honestly. Actually, there is a surprise. Kodak on this Ana is a big change-up in Atlanta Academy, potentially respecting Skyfox's exclusivity.
Kodak already pretty low, having to use the biotic grenade on his own team, so that's not going to be available for them to try to get onto the objective. But they don't seem to care, as Gator already on the objective. That rotation seems to be catching Skyfoxes off guard here, as the biotic grenade is going to be helping Atlanta Academy stay alive and healthy. And this seems to be happening over and over. Hawk right now, and Sugar Free a little earlier. Atlanta Academy getting taken down, but not out, as Skyfox is unable to confirm any kills against Atlanta Academy thus far here on Atlanta's first approach. The click on a Gator there should help. Beautiful ally barrier onto him, keeps him alive. Sugar Free finding a couple kills as well. Kodak is going to be able to kill his team, but is it going to be enough? Huge shatter now coming in from Clone Man. 3 kills for Skyfoxes, but Atlanta Academy still have some presence on the point.
They still have some presence, but Skyfoxes have an attitude, and he's going to help the Atlanta Academy back. Man, that was close. Just want to point out, Gator got a shatter within the first 20 seconds of that fight. Already used it, but in this case, Skyfoxes, Brian, who shatters second, finds a bit more value, but it was a very close thing. Skyfox is keeping things very competitive with it, but they needed absolutely everything that they had at their disposal to hold Atlanta Academy back, who are still sitting on a fatty grab and a rally. Skyfoxes themselves 25% away from their grab. And most frighteningly, still 70% away from EMP, which has been a key to them winning fights.
To summarize, Ham, they got a whole lot of nothing. So Atlanta, but they got a pick onto Kodak, 65, and I can still see Atlanta Academy bringing this back because of that ultimate advantage. We see just that. Hoon is going to get burst down here in no time. Atlanta Academy using the ultimate advantage to their advantage against Skyfoxes, as they're going to be able to capture point A even after losing Kodak at the beginning of the fight.
It's the tundra, it's winter, but Atlanta Academy still managed to absolutely melt Skyfoxes. Without that static shielding, it's as if it's blink of an eye, a Widow one-shot with the way that they destroyed Hoon's Zarya. However, now they will have to pop that sound barrier sooner rather than later. Skyfox is ready and prepped with the grab and the EMP shatter. Hopefully not all three going to go off at once. They want to conserve their banks.
EMP Shatter is available. It's going to be a little less effective on the defensive side than the offensive side. Earth Shatter goes through, this time from a Gator. 3 are on the ground. EMP, though, to counter. He's going to hit all 6 members of Atlanta Academy, and the Shatter's going to come after as well. Trigger-free Gator are down. Hawk and Saucy are to stay alive for the time being, but with their HP bars, Atlanta Academy should not last much longer. Still interested as to why Kodak is on Anna. If Moira was working so well for them, definitely not producing the same amount.
And certainly struggling to keep pace with the healing. So Skyfoxes do have Grav and Nano. There was no option to grab at the same time since Hoon was the first one down. But again, Atlanta Academy were the ones controlling the pace, and Boostio was forced to throw Translocator in, not expecting to have to use EMP right then, which is still the most worrying thing about Skyfox's defense. Atlanta Academy taking the time to set up on this high ground, even with Grandma, and this is something that just shows a lot of care, something that Skyfoxes didn't do themselves on their own attack.
Nice lead onto Hoon. Cloman's going to have to defend it against that. Banana's going to go through, and it's going to hit Gator, who's going to be locked up in the grab shots. There are 2 kills coming in from Hawk's going to open up the point for Atlanta Academy. That's 3 now that Gator has one as well. Boostio's going to have to invest in EMP once he does get it, but it's going to be too little too late. It looks like it might. Boostio actually going to instead keep it himself, re-engage, but there's no other ultimates for Skyfoxes. Here it is. Here's that EMP. 4 members are going to be hacked. Gator taken very low. They're doing a very good job focusing him down, but it doesn't seem to be enough. A lot of the time is Lasher going to be taken out, and so are the rest of Skyfoxes. Atlanta Academy are now 2 maps away from the golden season. The Skyfoxes had some opportunities to stop them. They can't seem to get the EMP Shatter to go as consistently as they need, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a call out here. Boostio having a hard time on the Sombra, getting stunned out of stealth a lot. And the thing that's starting to become very apparent is Sombras that translocate in and then EMP are going to be obvious. Much easier to defend against. You can't do that as much. You got to be safer, but you also have to, I'm telling Boostio, you got to do everything right?
Just be perfect, Forehead.
But in general, he has been spotted out a little too frequently. He has gotten a couple good EMPs, but sometimes not with the Shatter. And I think just a little bit more consistency coming from Boostio could really, really take Atlanta down.
It's definitely part of those growing pains. This is a tendency that he's shown going all the way back to week 3 when they fought phase 2. Actually, I just can never get this image out of my they lost Paris. I can never get that image out of my head when his whole team gets grabbed and Boostio is standing behind phase 2, just hands empty. I was so ready. I just needed 5 more seconds. And it's not entirely on him. It is a large part on their opponents for pressing that and recognizing that this is a weakness, not just for Skyfoxes, but for any team that is running Sombra. She is best when you're utilizing her for that EMP. And if that doesn't happen, then you're probably going to be golden just to win that fight the good old-fashioned vanilla way.
Speaking of Golden, Atlanta Academy are 2 games away from making history. Let's see if they're going to be able to make it after the break.